As all law firm owners know, the phone is your lifeblood. It's how you acquire the vast majority of your clients. Very rarely is anyone ever going to fill out a web form and then say, guess what? You're my lawyer. They want to actually talk to someone. We do know of plenty of law firms that can capably sign up clients over the phone using modern technology like DocuSign to actually, during a 25 to 40 minute phone call, from the beginning of it to the end, get someone to sign a retainer agreement. Hi, I'm Charley Mann with Great Legal Marketing, and what I want to tell you about is how successful law firms answer the phones. And I will tell you that most law firms have one common problem with them when it comes to the phones, and it's very simple. It's the first thing that is said when someone picks up the phone at your office. And I'm going to ask you a question before I reveal the problem, and that question is, have you called your own law firm lately? If not, I would encourage you to be a mystery shopper at your own law firm. You will discover more about how your phones are answered in this process than just about anything else besides recording your phone calls, which, spoiler alert, I highly recommend. Now, what is the number one issue that we have with law firm phones? The number one issue is really, really simple. It's how people pick up the phone, and it's the greeting that is used in way too many law firms. So much so that it kind of seems like an old joke at this point that I really hate telling. What happens is, oftentimes when I call a law firm, and yes, I have mystery shopped members of Great Legal Marketing before, I hear the following two words. Law office. And that's all you hear. Someone picks up the phone and goes, law office. If you're really lucky, they pick up the phone and go, law office of Charley Mann, or Charley Mann Law. But that's all that you get. This is where the problems begin in answering the phone. First off, if that's how you're picking up with just these two words, law office, then it sounds awfully generic. And if one of the concerns for any law firm is the idea of being commoditized, why use language that simply screams, hey, I'm a commodity. I am one of many of these things. Imagine calling up your local home goods store, whether it's the big orange store, the big blue store, and they picked up and they just went, home goods, or home improvement. You'd wonder where you were calling. You would wonder if the person on the other end really knows where they're at. Okay, maybe it's not that bad, but you're definitely not going to have a lot of confidence compared to someone picking up, saying the name of the practice, and starting with a question. Which is, by the way, why we always recommend when someone calls your law firm, the bare minimum pickup should be, hi, this is Charley Mann at Ben Glass Law. How may I help you today? It sounds really simple, but if you've ever had a customer service experience like that one, chances are you know that it massively improves the relationship you have with the person answering the phone, just like that. Speaking of the relationship that the person answering the phone should have with the person calling, I want to talk about these three strategies right here that you may have already noticed. These are three recommendations that I have in law firm phone answering strategies to empower your receptionist and get higher quality intakes and have more what I would call compliant clients now and down the road. The first thing that your intake person should do is control the phone call. This begins by asking questions. The more questions that can be asked early on in a phone call, something as simple as, how may I help you? And can I get your first name and phone number in case we get disconnected? These put the receptionist in more of what we consider a position of power, at the very least, a position of authority. The receptionist is now going to dictate how the call is going to go. That is good for the receptionist, and it's actually good for the client. Your clients really don't want to put a lot of thought into what they're doing. For the most part, they are calling you because they have a problem that they need solved, and the sooner you can show them that they are, not to steal an insurance company's slogan, in good hands, the sooner that you can move from this being a conversation to a conversion. Number two, understanding. A lot of times we would frame this as empathy, but if I'm being ruthlessly honest, it's really hard to get true empathy on a phone call. And people who are genuinely empathetic can often be short-lived in an intake position, unless they have a special skill set, simply because you get worn out from the emotional pain often being dealt with by the person who's calling the potential client. So that's why we go with understanding instead. What is understanding? It's acknowledging that the other person on the other side has a problem that for them is unique. You as a law firm may have seen hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of this particular type of legal issue, but for this person, this may be their one and only time that they're dealing with it. Understand that fact. Understand where they're coming from. It may be a place of fear rather than a place of curiosity or confidence, and they need you to understand that and react accordingly from the point of saying, this person isn't trying to be combative. It's their amygdala basically firing and has them scared right now. And then number 3, direction. This kind of goes back with control. Direction is where the receptionist or intake specialist is going to tell the person how this phone call is going to work. It may be as easy as, I'm going to transfer you over to the intake specialist who will ask you 4 to 5 questions about your accident case, and then we'll discuss next steps with you from there. We create a known quantity or a known experience for the person calling, and that way they feel much more comfortable on the phone call. They know what to expect, and it takes away some of the mystery to all of this. And if we can take away some of the mystery, take away some of the fear, we can have people magnetically attracted to us because we're doing more than being a law firm. We're being a source of information, guidance, and comfort to them. So give them direction. And by the way, this includes at the end of a phone call. If you're trying to close the client into an appointment, tell them that they should schedule an appointment to meet with an attorney. You don't need to beat around the bush, and never ever wait for the client to come up with that suggestion. They probably aren't going to. So when you mystery shop your law firm, check that these things are going on here and not going on here, and then make adjustments accordingly. Of course, if you're a member of Great Legal Marketing, we have more information about scripting in your membership site, and we're always happy to take questions from you via email and help you build a better intake system in your practice. If you're not a member of Great Legal Marketing, well then of course I would suggest that you sign up so that way you can get a hand on these resources and implement them in your practice in addition to all of the other marketing strategies to drive more people to your phone, where now your conversion process will work that much better. Well, go ahead and check out on your screen. There should be other videos, and I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for additional information as we release it. But if you want some of the most intimate behind-the-scenes info, go ahead and go to greatlegalmarketing.com and find out how you can become a member today.